Hello everyone, myself Radhika Selaya. Welcome to this video tutorial where we are going to talk about live activity and dynamic island. With the release of iOS 16, Apple introduced live activity and later with iOS 14 Pro, the dynamic island. Two powerful tools that allow us to represent the real-time glanceable updates directly on the lock screen and at the top of the screen on the dynamic island. These features are designed to keep user informed about ongoing activity like delivery tracking, live sports scores, or wait time without requiring them to unlock the device or open the app. In this video tutorial, we'll discuss everything you need to know to integrate live activity and dynamic island effectively on your iOS app. In this video tutorial, we'll build a live activity that displays wait time. This will give users a real-time view of how long they will need to wait, perfect for restaurant queue or appointment scheduling scenario. So let's get started. I have already created a blank project. Now, to add a live activity support in iOS app, you need to add widget extension. You can create a widget extension to use live activity without having to include widgets. Go to the file, new, select target, search for widget extension, give a name to your extension. We'll keep a waitlist demo and finish. Here's what you will have after adding widget extension. Next, let's add support for live activity in info playlist. Type support live activity, set it yes. Okay. Now let's define the data. The activity attributes protocol allow you to define the data structure for live activity. The protocol's design enable you to separate the static information, which doesn't change over time, from dynamic real-time data. For this video tutorial, we'll create wait time attribute structure. This implementation will display the user's current position in the queue, their progress through the waitlist as a dynamic data, while also including waitlist details such as the name of the waitlist and the booking ID as a static data. So let's design our activity attributes. Let's define the dynamic data. And static data goes here. Yeah, don't forget to import activity kit. Now let's have a quick look at the different presentation of our live activity widget. The activity configuration defines a widget layout for a lock screen presentation or as a banner notification where Dynamic island is not supported. Activity background tint and activity system action foreground color properties control the background color and text color in the lock screen or a banner view. Next, a dynamic island block. This configuration defines the layout for dynamic island. Within a dynamic island, you can divide the content into different regions. The expanded view of dynamic island has four main areas: center, leading, trailing, and bottom. The center area displays the content directly below the true depth camera. Leading area position content along the left edges of expanded live activity. Trailing area place content on the right edges next to the true depth camera. The bottom area sits underneath the leading, trailing, center section, providing extra space for content. Next, the compact and minimal presentation. Compact leading and compact trailing presentation defines the content in dynamic island state, such as a single letter or icon. The minimal represent the smallest possible view in the dynamic island. The widget URL adds a tappable URL to the widget, allowing user to navigate directly from the widget to the specified URL. Now let's design lock screen presentation. For our demo, we'll design similar widget which has a waitlist name, app logo, user's current position in the queue, and the progress based on the position. To make it more attractive, we'll use different images based on the position. So let's implement lock screen presentation first. We'll keep all the views of live activity in a single file. So let's give it a name, live activity content. We need a progress, position information, and the waitlist name. I have already added required color and the images in assets. Next we'll add a app logo, but before that let's use this live activity content in our live activity widget. For that, let's create a new Swift file, give it a name, live time import a Swift UI, activity kit, and the widget. Let's copy the body here so we don't need to implement by ourselves. Let's remove those placeholders. For now, let's remove widget URL as well. Here it will be our waitlist attributes. So yeah, we are done. Here let's add our lab activity content. Okay, now let's add a preview so we'll have idea how our widget will look like. Let's define one more content state so we will have idea how our UI will animate on the state change. Oops, we have some issue. Okay, okay, we need to add a target for this. Cannot find waitlist. Okay, we need to add that as well in the scope. Now let's see the preview. Okay, now let's go further and design rest of elements. Let's create a separate view for app logo. We'll use this app logo at multiple places. So let's define the size for customization. Now let's show the user current position with the progress bar. Now let's see the preview. Oops, we forget to add queue position here. Let's go ahead and design the horizontal progress bar. Now let's design UI for our queue illustration images. While our preview is loading, let's add the UI for compact leading. For compact presentation, we'll show the app logo at the leading part, and for trailing part, we'll show the user position along with the progress bar. For compact leading, we will show app logo and the size 24. For trailing, we'll show a progress bar. Let's create a view. Let's give it a name, a minimal progress bar. We will use this progress bar for extended with presentation as well, so let's give it a size CG float. Let's define its body. And for minimal presentation as well, we'll use the same view. Now it's time to design a dynamic island extended presentation. For leading, we'll show app logo with the size of 48 pixel. For trailing, we'll show the minimal progress bar. So 48. As we have a very less content for this demo, we'll not use a bottom area. Instead, we'll use a center part and simply put the text, your position, So we are done with our all presentation. Now let's design our demo screen. We'll take user input for waitlist name. Another input for user position in the queue. And the last one for progress. Now let's run our demo. Okay, here is our layout. Great. Now we'll create a Live Activity Manager class to manage activities lifecycle. First, let's import activity kit. We can create multiple activities, but to keep this demo simple, we'll keep reference of only one activity. So let's define our function for start activity. The same for update activity. And last function to end the activity. We also take position and progress in parameter to show the final data to user before ending the live activity. To start the activity, we'll use Activity Request API. We should always verify if live activities are available using our Activities Enabled API. This ensures that feature is supported on user's device. To check the availability of live activity, we'll use Activity Authorization Infos, our Activity Enables API. Our activity enabled. So we'll only start activity if live activity is supported. Let's first define the attributes. Then let's define the content state. Live activity can only be started when your app is in foreground. You cannot initiate them if app is in background. We'll use activity.request API to start the live activity. It takes the parameter, attributes, the content, This tail date is optional parameter which specify when the data become outdated, but here we'll set it to nil to let it stay relevant indefinitely. Along with attributes and content, request API is another optional parameter push type. We'll keep it null for now as we are managing our activity updates within app itself, not through activity kit push notification. This setup allows us to create a live activity that manageable in app without relying on server push notification for update. So let's run our application. Oops, we need to call this method from our content view. Live activity manager, share reference, and start activity. We got a log here, but we didn't get live activity, even a dynamic island. So let's see what we have done wrong. Let me make sure we have we have it. Okay. Okay, we need to use our widget. So let's remove unnecessary classes. Okay. So now let's run. Yeah, here we go. So this is our lock screen presentation, and here it's our dynamic island compact presentation. So yeah, now let's go ahead and see how we can update the activity. To update live activity content, we'll use update API. The system will ignore updates to a live activity that has already ended. So you can only update live activity that is still active. So let's implement our update activity function. Now let's run. Oops. Okay. Now let's run it again. Okay, now let's try to update the position with the progress. Okay. You can see our widget is updating with the animation. Now let's go ahead and see how we can end live activity. To end a live activity, we'll use end function on activity object. Ending an activity signals to the system that live activity has concluded and it will not longer be updated or shown on the lock screen or a dynamic island. We'll end the we will end the activity with latest content state so user can see the final information before it disappears. With a dismissible policy, you can control how the live activity is removed from the lock screen. If you want your live activity to dismiss immediately, use immediate for the dismissible policy. If you prefer to let your activity stay visible for a while after it ends, you can set a specific time using after. By default, system will keep it for up to 4 hours after it ends before removing it automatically. And now let's end our activity. You can see live activity is removed from lock screen. So that's it for the first part. We have covered essential for understanding live activity and dynamic island to setting up, updating and ending the activity. In the upcoming part, we'll dive deeper into advanced topics like animating state changes, managing update through the push notification, and adding interactive elements like button and toggles. So yeah, stay tuned for part 2 where we'll bring everything together and create an even more impressive experience. Thanks for watching.